From 2017 to 2024, I spent $10,000 on chiropractors and massage therapists trying to fix my tight hips. Every week or every other week, I book a session, even a chiropractor on Monday and then massage therapist on the Thursday. And it was good, felt good after, but then the next week, soreness, and the week after, soreness. I just assumed this was just part of life as an adult doing mixed martial arts. And what I realized was chiropractors, massage therapists is more of the medicine and not the cure. So I was just managing the symptom of tight hips and just soreness and acupuncture, but I wasn't looking at the root cause. Like, what can I do to have this solved permanently? My name is Kelson, and if you're in the cycle stuck of booking appointments with chiropractors and massage therapists every week, every other week, on a monthly basis in the past couple of years, this is part of the journey, part of the story where I realized there has to be something more. And I'll explain a bit more on the mechanism. For example, a chiropractor would adjust with the roller, with acupuncture, with the needles, where a massage therapist would focus on the deep tissue side. You're not really doing anything, like you're not building strength, releasing tense muscles. You're just less tight during that moment. It's like a temporary relief, which is nice, but it's not a permanent fix. With the massage therapist, you're temporarily convincing your muscles, nervous system to release. Protective tissue on the hip joints releases, and this is where your range of motion would improve, making you feel better. But when you start throwing leg kicks on the pads, on the bags with your training partner, you ask yourself, do I even have the active strength, hip flexor strength, to control my leg kicks or teeps? The answer is no, because there was no work done. Because there was a lot of passive stretches, passive treatment, but there was no end range strength being built. And this is where, like, I didn't know it then, but your nervous system just locks everything back up after it's loose and everything. And then after the next day or two, or when training the next day. So like when you even pay for a temporary fix, it's a Band-Aid solution. You don't actually see a permanent effect. And this is one of the same principles I use on this channel, which is, if you have to hold your knee to your chest for 10 seconds, can you do it? Can you hold it without leaning, without wobbling your other leg? And this is something a chiropractor would not be able to do. Same with the massage therapist. They're not built for that. This is a range where if you want to get the end range strength, you have to do the work. They could temporarily lower the guard, lower the nervous system, but you have to build the strength on your own in the gym. Now, I'm not saying chiropractors are useless. I just haven't been using any in the last couple of years. They help for injury and pain, but for mobility performance like that, you need to actually use in mixed martial arts. And the root cause you find is not anything with loose muscles or anything like that. And it's more with the strength issue. You're tired of burning money on temporary fixes. The link's in the description below. I got programs on different side. You could take a look at my 10-minute hip fix program I use on a daily basis. So in 2017, I started consistently seeing my chiropractor appear. He's from Australia, has a practice here in Ottawa. In that same clinic, there is also a massage therapist, Enrique. Normally what I would do is do chiropractor one week, massage therapist every other week. So it was just doing it back and forth. For the chiropractor was like a bit of deep rolling, adjustments, acupuncture. Massage therapist was just deep tissue work. And it just became part of my routine. I was just like, okay, let me go before the week I have kickboxing. It definitely loosened up the hips, the thighs, the hamstrings, but it was kept reoccurring. I kept hearing it like, your muscles are knotted. The acupuncture helps, releasing it with massage therapist will also help with the hip flexor side of things, especially my massage therapist, Enrique. he did talk about like doing exercise and stuff, and I was doing being consistent with. For me, it was just like the amount of money I'm spending, the time as well for the treatments. If this is sustainable, is there a better alternative? And I just looked at it where I was just like, term I would describe it as like renting my body for a couple of days and then going back to a chiropractor or a massage therapist. That's something they cannot build. That's something you can build in the gym. So one of the big solutions wasn't any single moment, is when I actively done daily stretching every day. And specifically in the mixed martial arts, in like active mobility, 10 minutes a day of 6 exercises, about a minute on each leg together or on each side every day. You'll see it in months how much more range you get just by dynamic side of things. And this is just dynamic, where when you start building the strength, you could start keeping that and go cold, in the sense that you'll be able to like go to that, you know, body kick, chest level, even head kick. Once you like work towards that in the right process system, you'll be able to do that. And that's just without risking yourself getting injured. Of the year of 2024 is when I like started going and consistently like going to classes and doing some open gym work. And with that, I just like realized I didn't need to go to the chiropractor anymore. The strength of flexibility. And with that, it just helped a lot. And I think that was the last time I saw Peter, probably like, let's say 2024 side of things. And Enrique probably once in 2025, where, you know, he also was the one recommended to go to gymnastics. And they, like Enrique was the last one saw me in 2025, and he saw like much more improvement, much more lean and less tightness. It's just, my legs were always super tight. And the way I look at the math is like, you know, if you're spending $100 or $200 a month and you're able to do something where you don't even have to spend that money for a session or like an extra session or two, and just start slowly reducing it by just doing, for example, starting off with a 10-minute hip fix. And this is based on 2 books by Kurtz and Matt Vev, 45 years of research. It's, you save not just your time, money going, like time to go to the massage therapist, chiropractor, but also taking the time driving there. Instead, you can use that time to rest, but more importantly, to train. So one of the exercises is the knee, single leg, chest to knee, or knee to chest leg extension. So this is where you put knees to chest, and then you slowly raise the leg straight without leaning down or like wobbling or anything like that before you drop the knee below waist level. This exercise is a great one, and this is like one of the main ones that helped with my journey last year, and we'll see more of the results end of the year, and forces them to work. It's definitely like, you can see how strong your hip flexors are on that. Just bringing knees to chest is one thing, like just 10-second hold, but then definitely a lot more work, harder than lying down at a massage table, that's for sure. You know, I look at it as like, you gotta stop renting and start owning. As it's your body, you want to be able to not rely on any sort of external side of things. That's just beginning, where you start doing daily mobility, daily exercise as a habit, like brushing your teeth. So I put this exact routine on a free guide below. You can subscribe to the email list and you'll get the PDF. You can click on it, download it. So you could just not waste your time anymore and just go to what works, be consistent with it. And then with that, you avoid going to any more chiropractors, and then reduce massage therapists and just money and time. I hope this helps. And all the links are below in the description.